Wyclef Jean, BKS1 Radio. Let's go.
This is Essence Atkins, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Hi, this is Melba Moore, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
Yo, check it out. What's the deal? This the chef. Giving a big shout out to my peoples. Big KS, you already know what it is. Salute.
What's up? It's your girl Monifa, and I'm hanging with BKS1 Radio.
Hi, I'm Iyanla Van Zandt, and you're listening to BKS1 Radio.
BKS Radio, baby.
Hey, this is Jasmine Guy for BKS1 Radio.
What's going on? This is Lamont Brooker, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Shout out to BKS1, the best kept damn secret in the business.
Hey, what's up? This is Raven Goodwin from BET's Being Mary Jane, and shout out to BKS1.
Hi, this is Leon. You're watching BKS1 Radio.
BKS1. God bless y'all.
Wake your ass up! Hey.
It's the official Man Cave Morning Show, people.
That it is.
Yes. Happy Monday, everybody. Monday morning sometimes is the worst. Because you debate whether you want to go to work or not, get up.
It's the Man Cave.
Stay in bed. Get up, stay in bed. Get up, stay in bed. But we here. We are live. We blessed. It's the Man Cave Morning Show.
Yes, indeed. It's the Man Cave
Salute.
Morning Show.
Let's introduce this awesome squad, the awesome team right here. To my left, my man 50 Grand. We always been down, always had the plan. Shout out to the dude.
Hey, peace in the building.
He's that dude. To the right of me, the dude that gets a little rude, especially when he's in a bad mood. We call him Deacon Woo.
Let's get it.
Deacon
BKS1 forever. Hey.
And I am just humbly stormed on the general. Salute to you all at your service.
Chief Bottle Wash Extraordinaire.
One love, man. Peace and blessings. Welcome to the show.
Brother Norm in the building. Peace.
Man Cave Morning Show, man. Wait. I'd be remiss if I didn't give some love. Shout out to everybody watching us live right now on YouTube.
Bang. Yes.
Shout out to everybody watching us live right now on Twitter,
Yes.
Periscope.
Bang.
Salute to everybody watching us live right now on Ustream. Also the mother site, WBKS1.com.
Hey.
Shout out to everybody watching us live right now on Facebook. Salute to you all on Facebook, and salute to everybody listening to us live on that TuneIn app. If you don't have the TuneIn app, why, people? Download it. It's free. You get to listen to all your favorite radio stations across the country, across the world on the TuneIn app. Millions and millions of people have the TuneIn app. It is more popular than iHeart, and BKS1 Radio is on the TuneIn app. So download that. Now, shout out to everybody trickling in, man. Good morning, Paul Joseph Williams. Good morning,
what's good?
Denise Sparrow. Hey, Denise. Tammy Walker. Good morning. Julius Gray. Salute. Good morning. Good morning. Vonne Pilot. Good morning. Good morning. Reg Garns, Hollywood. Reg Hollywood. What's up, man? Good morning. Robin Starr. Good morning. Nikki Raspberry. Good morning. Good morning, Sandy. Somebody missing, but good morning, fellas. Good morning.
Hey.
Barb, good morning. Good morning, Anthony Mack. Good morning, bro. What's good, fam? Good morning, Pierre Parker. Good morning, Rodney Scott. Rodney, what's good? Audrey Egypt. Good morning, sis. What's good, fam? Good morning, Neil Chandler. Good morning, John Booth. What's up, Cuzzo? Good morning, Jeffrey. And good morning, Vereen. Good morning, Taylor Golden. Good morning, Joanne Esau. Good morning, Pep. That's my man, OPE. Good morning. Good morning, bro. Dick Matthews, Juanita Karen Hearts. Good morning. Let's clap it up for you all. Good damn morning.
Yes, good morning,
Anthony Green, good morning. Let's get this Man Cave Morning Show started. So what's been going on? First and foremost, I want to say condolences to the families of the mass shooting that happened in Toronto, Canada.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But they got the suspect. They took him down. And,
thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers,
Yeah,
man.
definitely.
Toronto's usually peaceful and quiet, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
man.
Canada is laid
Just
back.
goes to show you what the world is coming to. Though.
Exactly.
It shows you what
It's
the world
funny
is coming to.
Yeah, because my wife was just talking about, hey, let's all do a Canada trip. You know, it's gonna be nice and fun and this out there. I'm like, damn, terrorism now.
Yeah, that is spilling over to peaceful, loving Canada.
Yeah,
It's
that's crazy.
ridiculous.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean?
Again, also shout out to Kiss. She'll be back with us tomorrow morning. Shout out to Kiss. Shout out to Jackie
Love
D.
The flamethrower,
Yes,
BKS1.
Salute.
West Coast edition.
But we're gonna talk about some things, man. I know one of the things you hit us with. There was more to the story with the whole Charlemagne thing.
Yes, I would like to revisit.
And
for a more nuanced convo.
What else happened with that, man?
Oh, he has a podcast that I frequent called The Brilliant Idiots, and he talks about a lot of different issues. And one of the things that he talked about from his past was, how could I say this? Sexual contact with a woman when alcohol is involved.
This was a previous podcast.
A previous podcast that people are bringing back up. Now, I'm not bringing it back up to crap on a brother. I'm bringing it back up because I want to have a nuanced conversation about the relationship that this country has with alcohol and partying and the way in which we discuss it. Because on one hand, you're a sexual predator. On the other hand, party dude, you just having a good time, pal.
Right.
You know what it is, man? You know what it is goes down at these colleges, dude. Whereas when
do that well.
Whereas when other people get involved, then we're predators and animals and rapists. So I wanted to have a more nuanced conversation about male-female relationships when alcohol is used to grease the skids.
Yes. So let's clap that up because we're gonna talk about it. Kristen Jeanette, what's up, Chrissy? All right, good morning. So here's the clip, man. You know us, we got to clip the things. So
let's get it.
Yeah, let me get the screenshot ready for y'all. And we're gonna go into this clip.
That's what really happened. And even though Charlemagne said that he never raped the girl, he talked about another experience on his podcast show called Brilliant Idiots, where he gave a woman alcohol that was spiked and they had sex. So it leads me to believe that maybe he did the same thing to Jessica.
I remember a scenario in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I got this girl real drunk, and
just that sentence sounds delicious. I got her drunk.
I didn't just get her drunk. I remember I went to the sex store and got Spanish Fly.
Oh, so you raped her?
Shut up. She was drunk and shit, and we had sex and like a lot of my boys were trying to come in the room and I'm like, nah, chill out. I can't. I'm not doing that. I'm not trying to train. That's rape. Okay. So
just one-on-one, it ain't rape.
Yeah. So the next morning she wakes up. The next morning she wakes up and we talk about it. And she's like, what happened? Like, we had sex. She said, okay, well, I'm glad it was you. Then a couple days later, she's like, yo, are you sure we had sex with you? One of my stupid ass cousins was going around saying which he did. I know for a fact. I was dead old time. He did not. He looked at her naked, but he didn't suck her, right? I'm telling her, no, me and you just had sex, nobody else did nothing. So it just was weird that she was like, well, I'm just glad it was you. Listen,
was she past that while you fucked her?
She wasn't coherent, but she was up. You know when your girls is like when you're blacked out like that. Don't know what the fuck's going on type. Like she was really.
She was awake and she was into it.
She was wasted.
This whole story is absolutely crazy. And honestly, I can't say that I'm completely shocked.
Let's talk about it. I can't even clap that one up.
Yeah, you can't.
Cause he just, I hate to say it,
played himself.
If you got a pending, people revisited allegations of a rape case, and you're trying to deny this and deny that. This is why you got to be careful what you record and what you put out there for the public to hear. You know what I'm saying? It's like everything you can't talk about in these podcasts or your radio show or whatever like that. So now this was like what, 2 years ago?
Yeah,
a couple years ago, and basically you're saying certain things. You know what I'm saying? It's related to the new allegations. I don't know, man. How you feel about that?
It's crazy because when did he do the interview? That interview, was it before? Was it before Wu, the actual allegation that he's facing now?
Yes. Before.
And see,
it was before.
Like Norm said, you know what I mean? You got to be careful because he, the way he was talking about it just now, it was like, all right, somewhat innocent in the sense of he was saying, you know, like downplaying and making a joke of it that he had sex with a woman and it was okay because she came back to him. It was like, yo, did you're the only one that hit this? Or so the point being is that after this other allegation came out, they're always going to find something on you that's relative. They're always going to find something on you that's relative,
and they can pick it apart.
And they can pick it apart. Yeah, definitely, man. And he set himself up for that one, man.
Let me explain to you the genesis of this clip. Someone that I love very much and who happens to be female was like, you need to get on this. Right. Now, for those of you new to the show, you know, I'm a big proponent for the Me Too movement in its correct context, meaning that I'm for empowering women that are truly victims and are truly need to tell their story. That getting out of the way, the reason that this show works is because we talk open and honestly. Anything taken out of context, and I'm not saying that it's taken out of context. You know how many hours, and I'm a new guy here, that I have on this show here? If you go through every single thing I've said and pull out a clip about me saying, oh, you're a whore, and you're a this, and police brutality, you can frame me. Listen.
You can put it together.
Listen. I can pull a Bible out right now and be like, this is incest. And say, this is why the Bible supports it. I can go to the Bible right now and be like, you should be stoned because you're mixing this cloth with that cloth and you ate swine and stuff like that. So what's happening is they're taking it out of a context. On the other hand, this is the same man that gets pushback from my family. When I say family, I mean the listeners and the viewers. When I go hard on moral and ethical behavior. If your ass ain't drunk, and if your ass ain't high, and if your ass ain't in a position, ain't no victims, only volunteers. You see the yin and the yang of the conversation. So I want us to have a nuanced conversation, because last time I checked, when you go to the barbershop, and there is aspects of barbershop conversation on this show, but the producer of the show, which is not me, thank God, because we would get kicked off the freaking air, understands the balance that it takes. To prevent Dawood from completely burning down BKS1 in a convo that I have that was off color.
Y'all want to be completely honest?
That's why we brought it up.
Completely honest.
Speak on it.
Bring it, Storm.
I'm not a fan of the Me Too movement. I'm not a fan of civil rights movement.
Why is that so?
I'm not a fan of, because movements die.
Right.
I am a fan of justice overall,
very
across
well
the board.
Very well said.
This is why I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of movements, because it should just be justice. There is right and there is wrong. Do the right thing. Do the right thing. When you see somebody doing the wrong thing, there should be justice for that. Period. Whether it be race-related crime, whether it be rape, whether it be whatever the case it may be, LGBT community, just justice. You know what I'm saying? You know, period. So I'm not a fan of movements. Movements die. How many movements have we them came and went? How many movements came and went? You know, I'm not a fan of no movements, because we rock with something for a minute and then the next thing comes along and then we forget about that. So the hell with movements. It's just time for justice, period, overall. I'm down with movements. But in reference to Charlemagne and everything, look, bro, you know, the more and more people are going to start to dig dirt on you now.
Yeah.
Because, you know, right now, you got to look at something right now. And it's wrong. Again, it's wrong if you did something like rape or sexually assault somebody. It's wrong. But right now, there's an attack going on. There's a big wave going on right now.
Without question.
There's an attack going on, and it's something deeper going on.
I totally agree.
Who just got recently accused?
Anthony Anderson.
Anthony Anderson, Blackish. We all love him. He's on ABC. Now you're about to start hearing some things about this brother.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's assault claims. Says he hasn't been contacted by the police. right? There's something going on with our African American entertainers and an attack on black culture and whoever's prominent in black culture. There's an attack going on. So we have to look. There's a bigger thing that's going on. So when I say I'm not a fan of these things like a Me Too, why does it have to be a Me Too movement? Why can't there be justice for just somebody that was sexually assaulted or raped or done wrong, or just justice for them, whatever, overall? So there has to be movements for these things. Civil rights movement. Nobody cares anymore.
Right.
All right. So let's just have a justice movement. But I don't want to use the word movement.
Right.
Well,
right.
I am a fan of movements because I've seen movements transform the world. Now, but I understand the context with which Norm is talking about. Because the way we perceive the movement now is people are so selfish and so self-absorbed, and they're only about their self-interest and about how they feel. A true movement means that you put away, you look outside of your feelings, and you do something for someone else, like the women's suffrage movement, the civil rights movement, the labor movement, the union movement. All of these movements occurred because injustice was occurring, and it was a way to move the culture and shift the culture. So I'm always for moving the culture, right? But for this attack journalism, for this feeding frenzy of tearing down people, I would be remiss and disingenuous if I did not recognize that prominent African American men, okay, are being smeared and targeted because all you have to do is make an allegation. Because last time I checked, hey dude, let's party. If you are going to hold us to that standard, then I definitely think you need to go to every single. There is a young co-ed waking up right now, excuse my French, that's bleeding in her pants, and I can't remember what happened. Are all those frat boys rapists? Perhaps they are. But if they are, I also want justice.
Right.
Stop trying to frame it the way you frame it. Because now that I am in entertainment and that I have a platform, I'm going to use mine to fight back. You can definitely miss me with saying, because I'm bringing this issue up, that I'm a pro-rapist or pro-abuser. That's patently ridiculous. But you're telling me that I'm not supposed to see the racial component of black male after black male, a prominent African American mover and shaker being tarnished? If that's the case, go after all actors, go after all frat boys, go after everybody the way you go after me. That's my problem. Though. It's not justice because they go after me in a certain way and don't go after another person in a way, and that's not a movement.
True,
that's a smear, and it doesn't in service to the woman that really got raped.
And this why, and I understand. Shout out to Dorothy Bolton on the check.
Yeah, cause
what she said, movements are needed. But see, here's my problem with it. The problem with movements is then now, because this movement's the Black Lives Matter movement, then you got the LGBT movement, and then you got the Me Too movement, whatever. Then everybody talks about what movement trumps the other movement, or what's more important than the other one. Then you get an argument with that now, with the movements. Oh, well, let's not focus on the Black Lives Matter thing now because it's Me Too thing is more important. So my whole thing is, it's really just about justice.
Right.
Just about finding justice for all these situations. Justice for the LGBT community. Justice for civil rights. Justice for the rape culture.
Right.
All this. Justice for all of this. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, to me, that's what it's really about. These movements, the narrative get changed. And then it becomes some type of political agenda, or it becomes some type of other agenda. This is why I don't really rock with the movement here. No, just justice, man. There needs to be justice for kids dying at the hands of police. There needs to be justice for women sexually assaulted, raped. There needs to be justice for the LGBT community. All right, being discriminated against. Right. There needs to be justice for all these things. Right. But movements, I can't rock with, because people always change the narrative, and then the media puts their own spin on it. All right, and then everybody starts beefing about what's more important.
Right.
When all of it needs just justice. I'm just saying.
You made a good point. No, you made a good point.
And I'm gonna stop with that. gonna stop
you
with
made
the
a
rant.
good point because
But it just pisses me off.
Yeah, and you made a good point though, because you're saying just cut out the middleman and go directly to the source.
Man, what these movements?
Go directly to the source, and I feel you on that. You know what I mean? But I think a lot of people feel like that something has to be done to get the attention of people to know that you're crying out for justice. And I completely understand what you're saying, though. I'm not in disagreement with you because I'm more of a direct source person myself, even in my personal stuff. So I feel you on the direct source. It's just that not everybody's going to have the courage to do it directly, so they need to build up to a point. But you're absolutely correct about going directly to the source.
I think that what you are witnessing is a strategy to co-opt movements. Let us go back to COINTELPRO and J. Edgar Hoover, who was a cross-dressing, right? Self-loathing homosexual is what he was, right? And what did he do? He used counterintelligence. So the reason that you're seeing the movement get swaggerjacked, the reason that you're seeing the narrative being changed is because it's COINTELPRO.
Right.
It's a counter to take away the efficacy of a movement. So if you look at what happened to the civil rights movement, you got Google. I'm not gonna get on here and talk about it too much and all the time. If you look at how feminism has now turned into attacking men, so much so that I don't even use the term feminist. I refer to myself as a womanist, because what happened? It went from justice for women to attacking men, victimizing men. Okay? If you look at Black Lives Matter, you had COINTELPRO say Blue Lives Matter. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To switch the focus from the true issue. So now that you got people of good conscience like this brother right here, who is an intellectual, that are getting frustrated. Why? Because you are at war, stupid, with wicked people. And what's happening is it's changing the narrative, and people get more concerned with changing the narrative than the issue. That is why I love this independent platform, because now we can now switch the narrative back. Lastly, do you know that there are women listening to this podcast that just heard what I said about Charlamagne and in their mind say that I'm defending rape? When I'm trying to have a nuanced conversation about relationships and about what happens when alcohol go, when I mention that they're female predators, there are women that contact me on my social media that say that I'm a predator. Why? Because they're switching the narrative. So now that we got a platform, I'm switching that shit back. Caller.
We're going to take a call, and then we're going to read some of your comments. Caller from the 732. State your name when you're calling from. You on the Man Cave Morning Show. Good morning.
Hey, man. How you doing, man? It's Tyrone Miller.
What's up?
Calling to give you guys a shout-out, and I'm digging the topic this morning.
What's up, bro?
What's up?
Respect.
Welcome.
Respect. I just had a quick question. Like, do you guys realize that most of the movements that were started, especially back in the 60s and 70s, and actually even before then, like, they eliminated all of the main players in order to soften the movement?
Absolutely.
Whatever movement it was, but like Martin Luther King, and there was one African leader, I forget his name, it might have been Stephen Beatty, but I'm not exactly sure. They silenced both of them brothers immediately because they wanted to take human rights to the UN as a national epidemic or a national problem, an international problem.
That's right.
And what they were trying to do was to put civil rights for everybody across the board in the world. Okay, it's not just black people that go through stuff. You look over in China. Okay, Chinese people kill other Chinese people just for political reasons, and they massacre hundreds of millions.
Yes.
Okay, so at the end of the day, like Norman said, it's justice for one. It's got to be justice for all. I just wanted to contribute that, but because we got brothers from all nationalities that's getting screwed over, and at the end of the day, you know, somebody got to pay for this.
Yeah.
You know, somebody's got to pay for it. So you got to start collecting names, and I don't mean drawing them out of a hat. I mean, you got to look at lineages, man. You talking about people have been oppressed
Absolutely.
People have been oppressed by people as long as there's been civilization, and it really comes at the hand of government. So then that way they can dominate the people and control all the money and the finances. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. I'm gonna clap that up.
Clap that one up.
Yeah, definitely.
Good.
Absolutely.
Good, Tyrone. Word up.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get back to work. I just wanted to chime in.
Appreciate you calling in,
brother.
Be
Thank
cool,
you.
bro.
Appreciate you calling in.
All right, brother.
Anybody that wants to call in, the phone number is
646-233-1302.
Let's read Dorothy Bolton. She said changing the narrative is always going to be the issue, especially when the powers that be having a pay but hidden agenda. Yes, that's why it's great to have your platform to keep it real and stay on the topics.
Yes, cousin.
Yeah,
That is my cousin.
Out to Dot.
Respect.
Tammy Walker said facts. Well, good morning, village. I'm here just working.
Respect.
Pie Lady
See you, Tammy.
says womanism is the black counter to feminism because white women did not address our issues.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, no doubt.
Thank you, Pie Lady. Absolutely.
Pie Lady, where would BKS1 Radio be without the civil rights movement? Really? No, see, you
took what he said.
Again,
took what he said the wrong way.
I'm not addressing that. Paul Joseph Williams, if you're not a white male, you're not going to get justice.
That's what he was kind of thinking what I was thinking when Wu said about justice.
Dorothy Bolton, if it's a law or a rule, it should apply to everyone. Justice is not a straight line. You see how we are judged harsher. These are
than our white counterparts.
Counterparts. Yeah, I can't see from. So there are steps and awareness need to take place. No doubt.
Yes.
Trying to get through some of these. Let's go to this one.
Me Too movement was a black woman seeking justice, but with all black causes and movements, relevance doesn't take place until our causes or movements are hijacked and used against or stolen from us. There is a larger deception in that. Bob Gilroy. I completely agree.
Clap that up.
After these comments,
clap that up, Woo.
I want to completely agree with that.
So, good morning, Laverne Long. Tyrone Miller. Let's go, Vereen Brown. First Brothers is out of control and liability for wrong for doing.
Frat Brothers out of control.
Frat Brothers
out of control.
Right.
Frat Brothers.
Which
Tammy
they are.
Good morning, Tammy. Let's read more comments. Okay, Demetria. Good morning, Demetria.
In my honest opinion, I feel like she's telling the truth and he is a liar. People are talking about they're taking his conversations out of context, but I think he's trying to cover his tracks, and because he's a celebrity, I feel he's going to get away with what he did. That woman's whole life is ruined, and now he's back trying to create a cover story, backpedaling, forgive me, and trying to create a cover story. That was Demetria.
Okay, clap it up. Julius Gray said,
Black Lives Matter movement died quicker than putting it together.
Absolutely. That's my whole point.
Co-opted.
That's my whole point.
Absolutely been co-opted.
But if you just think about it, there's no need for movements if you're just seeking justice for anything that's wrong, that goes wrong. Or if somebody gets killed unjustly or whatever like that, then you seek justice for it. That's my whole point.
Here's the thing.
Movements die, man.
Here's the thing. When you're talking about systems and institutions, institutionalized racism and systematic racism, right? I am a proponent of looking up and creating a system of your own, because me being outraged about something and not coming together to try to counterbalance, systems want to survive, governments want to survive, and and colonialism and exploitation has a life of its own and it wants to survive. So now they can put to bear the entire media to change narratives. But the revolution is in what we are doing and what everyone else is doing. This is the paradigm shift. But I don't want us to get so frustrated and continue to fall victim to 21st century COINTELPRO. Do you know, check this out, do you know someone can make up a name and a picture and get on our news feed and offer opinions that they don't agree with, to just take us away? You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you know, deflection. Do you know they got computer programs that can lodge at your site and just bombard you with phony outrage like the Russians did? You follow me?
Yeah.
So what I want to say, right? So we have to stay cognizant of that and stay diligent and not allow our frustration. Now to what Demetria said, whether you think he did or whether you think he did not, okay? At the Man Cave Morning Show, I want to have a nuanced conversation about sexual relationships between black men and black women and with alcohol and rape culture and everything. that's can be taken out of context to say, well, since I feel like Charlamagne is innocent, then I'm disqualified. Since I feel like Charlamagne is guilty, then I'm disqualified. No. Morally and ethically, we got to start talking about getting slosh and drunk and being places that we don't got no business being. And how we interact, because some people can't have sex without a substance. Now, if you're imbibing substances, right? And something happens, as far as that. Conversely, if someone puts something in you without your knowledge, that's another issue. Whether you think Charlamagne is guilty, we could talk about that. No question about it. But what's the larger issue? And you know what? You got women fighting with men and men fighting with women and us fighting amongst ourselves. And we're still being victimized, still being raped, still being shot, still being killed. And we arguing about what we gonna do about it, or what's good and what's bad, instead of having, because we don't have a system. We just individuals. You know what I mean? That's what slavery has done to our mind. Just saying.
And
no doubt.
With the beginning topic, when we had first started this, and we were talking about, we heard Charlamagne say that he gave the young lady something to drink, and it was very like I said earlier, it was kind of like he didn't see nothing wrong with it, because it was like they were mutually drinking. And what you were saying, Wu, was very important, because a lot of times what happens is that, I mean, me not being a drinker, I look at it and go, well, they were drinking. You know what I mean? Like mutually drinking. And he admitted that he had put some Spanish Fly in a drink, and he thought that was kind of like funny. I don't agree with that. Right? And the reason why I don't agree with it,
I don't
you said it last week when you had said, if you got to use something to put in a woman's drink, then your game is weak. Your game is weak. And the sad part about it is that it was almost like, because he didn't see nothing wrong with it, it didn't make him, I don't agree with him not seeing nothing wrong with it, but I also don't think that he's guilty, because if what he's saying is true about the girl, and I'm not talking about, for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, I'm talking about the first initial thing that he was talking about before this allegation came out. The fact that he didn't see anything wrong with it, I don't agree with that. But I also don't 100% agree that he raped her either, because, you know, they both knew what they were doing.
I believe it was well, when you say consensual, if something is consensual, I don't need to put a drug in your drink.
That's what we're saying.
That's I'm keeping it 100.
Exactly.
If we both, put it this way. When me and my wife met each other, she was having her Grey Goose martini. I was having my Long Island iced tea. She had another Grey Goose martini. I had another Long Island iced tea. We both mutually wanted to get it in and be together. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, you know, we mutually decided we both going to drink. We mutually decided we both going to have sex with each other.
Right.
We mutually, you know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it 100. So, you know what I'm saying? When it's consensual, you don't have to drug nobody.
Right. That's true.
Or loosen them up, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? So this whole, again, it goes back to that college life culture too.
Right.
That college life culture too. And we're gonna get sloshed. We're gonna get drunk out of our minds, whatever like that. If we got ecstasy in the room or whatever, we all gonna pop pills. We all gonna do this, whatever like that. That's a whole different discussion. We could talk about college life and that culture on a whole different show. But it's out there.
Let me be clear. I am anti-raping women, it's a sucker move, it's a bitch move to put something in a woman and make her unconscious, or make her this or make her that. I also know that there are millions of Americans that drink every day, socially, this, that, and the third. I'm not one of them, fine, but I can't dismiss the fact that people use alcohol to be social and that things get quite jaded. Being that as it may, that's a completely another issue. The person that taught me the term rape culture was Charlamagne, because I heard him say it. I was like, what does that mean? See, when I was growing up, there was a movie called Porky's Revenge.
Oh, yeah.
There was a movie about Revenge of the Nerds.
Right.
There was a movie about, John Belushi was in it, the big college frat movie.
I know what you're talking about.
Animal House.
Animal House.
You know what that was about? You know what all three of those movies were about? All and their sequels.
Frats.
You know what they were about?
Frats getting it in.
Men getting women drunk and raping them.
Yeah.
Right? That's what the entire movie was about. Now, when I was a kid, I was like this. Is this what you want to, this is that? I don't understand. But now, fortunately, I had a mom and a dad and grandma and a church and friends and elders and a whole lot of people to make me change my mind. This is what I'm saying. If Charlamagne did that, I'm not with that. I know that he went to court, and it was and what happened in court happened with court. I got to accept that.
Right.
But just because I accept that doesn't mean that I'm a rapist or someone that's. But the larger conversation is what look. You know what you're seeing? You're seeing a change, right? I'm quite sure the slave master, the year after the slaves were set free, had a problem with that fact. So what you're seeing is America beginning to address rape culture. I just don't like how it's famous black man after famous black man after famous black man after famous black man being called rapist and Morgan Freeman and Charlamagne the God and everything. Do you know I can see you? Like my Cat Williams voice. I'm not supposed to not see this?
The current climate and atmosphere that's going on with the whole Me Too movement is making women remember.
Right.
You know, it's you know that memory that they suppressed for so long is making them now say, "Oh, I remember this happened, and I remember this happened, and I remember this happened." So with that being said, now it's so rampant right now. It's like you really gotta be careful. And we're gonna take this call. We're gonna take this call. Caller from the caller from the 404. State your name where you calling from. You're on the Man Cave Morning Show.
Hi, good morning. It's me, Demetria.
Hey, Demetria. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. I just wanted to I get what y'all are saying about this whole topic or whatever, and my opinion not based on whatever. I mean, I'm thinking from a point of view, not just necessarily like the black man being railed over. I'm thinking about how, because I'm a victim of rape, okay, and I'm a survivor. And I've seen how it plays out in court. It don't matter what color you are. Yeah, some people get a fair break, but at the end of the day, they always blame the victim. Whether we're black, white, green, blue, or whatever, the victim gets blamed. And that's what I was talking about. And the way he was talking in the clip that y'all were playing, it just seems really shady to me. It just seems shady. Like he was trying to justify why he even was with this chick. That's what pissed me off. I wasn't talking about. I understand what Norm is talking about. I understand what Wu. I get what y'all are saying, and I respect it. But for Charlamagne himself, he's just shady. I ain't never liked him, and that could be why I feel like he's shady. I mean, his conversation was just shady. Oh, she said, "Well, thank goodness." Ain't no woman ever woke up with his ugly ass and said, "Thank goodness it was you."
Exactly.
And she didn't got me drunk to do that. So
that's what I was saying.
I'm spending the last 3 minutes of my vacation talking about this jackass. The rest of the guys, I do feel like what Wu said, it's a conspiracy. They trying to, or was it? I can't remember which one of y'all said it, but I do feel like it's a conspiracy against black men in entertainment.
Right.
But Charlamagne ain't one of them black men in entertainment. I'm sorry. He on the Breakfast Club. He did a couple of perm commercials. I don't care. I'm not on his side, but I do.
She going
please.
Oh, now look, this I rock with you. I rock with you 200% on the fact that the clip we listened to, it sounded shady. It sounded a little suspect.
It sounded so shady, like he was trying to make a cover for it, like he was trying to make it seem like. And I've seen victims. I've been one of those victims who have been railroaded in court because.
Yes.
Can y'all stop calling me? 5 minutes. Y'all got a whole house to play in. Don't do it.
She's going over the
but
kids.
That's the whole thing. I was just trying to get that point. So, I mean, and I agree with you. And the other day I didn't listen to the show because once it started, I couldn't take it, and I had to stop listening to the show for my own, for my fanship. I had to step off the show for that day. But I listened today, and like I said, that's just how I feel. And I do agree with you guys. There's a conspiracy against black entertainers. There is, and I believe that. Charlamagne just ain't one of them. He's a nasty dog, and he got him some free coochie, and then he's trying to run with it, and his ass he's taking what he did. So,
thanks for calling in.
I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my Jamaican trip and go get drunk.
Dig it.
and maybe even have me some sex with my husband.
Consensual sex.
God bless.
Consensual adults and vibing alcohol.
God bless you. Enjoy your vacation.
All right. Yo, she went.
Thank you. It's over today, the last day.
Yes.
I'll be home tomorrow.
All right. Enjoy.
Let me.
Man, look, she told us how she really felt.
Tell me how you
Charlamagne.
Exactly.
Let me, because I can hear my producer psychically. We got to move on. But you know what? Make no mistake. That clip was creepy as hell.
It was. That's
you
what I
dig
was
what I'm saying? Like contextually or not contextually, I just wanted to say that.
Right.
That was a really creepy clip. That being said, because I realized that there are new people listening to the station, about 2 or 3 months ago, when we were trying to get through Bill Cosby and how painful that was, I made the statement that 9 out of the 10 women I've slept with, or 5 out of 4, whatever number you want to give, have been the victim of rape or some inappropriate touching from a parent.
Say that.
That's number one.
Say that,
number
bro.
2, if it wasn't for the black woman, I would not be sitting here.
Right.
So I gotta give the more, but this is why I love the long form. We can have a continued conversation. I can have these 2 ideas in my mind at the same time.
Right.
I can think about the vast conspiracy against the black man, and I can be a champion for women that have been victimized by this. I have seen my relationships personally suffer and have felt impotent and did not know what to do. That's why I speak on the microphone as vociferously as I do. That's why I have so much passion of it. Listen. Some people don't want to talk about it. Some women, look.
Address it.
Some women are mad. Look, some women are loose. Some women turn to drugs. It's the cause and the effect. It's the effect of having this happen. So now, when we start having a conversation and you get triggered, what about this? What about if my voice triggers a sister because it sounds like? Now the sister doesn't let me know. Are arguing, and I don't even know that the reason that my relationship has ended is because she's being triggered. 100% D. I know I'm moving, General. I know what D is feeling. This is what I'm saying. But if we continue to cover it up and not talk about it, then Uncle Jed, who raped you, is gonna rape your daughter. That's what I'm talking about.
No, you got to have these conversations. I mean, you got to have these conversations, and you got to have these dialogues. And 9 times out of 10, you know what I'm saying, a woman's past reflects on her current relationship. 9 times out of 10.
True that.
And a lot of people, won't admit that, be transparent about it. Women deal with all types of things, man.
Yeah,
molestation.
They do.
And all types of things that may have happened to
certainly
them.
the women in my life.
Yeah, in past relationships or in their childhood. So and it does, and it
weighs on them. It weighs on them.
Yes, and it kind of dictates, where they're present in current situation is going to go in their relationships. And I see it all the time.
And some of them are single mothers, and that gets transported to their male children.
Yeah. I mean, we can go real deep in this.
I know, boss. I know.
Even with adult entertainment, and you talking about the porn industry and strippers and all this or whatever like that.
Well, yes, exactly.
If you dig deep
you're
into
gonna hear the
some
same
of these
story.
Women's past, you're going to hear these stories over and over. You're going to hear situations over and over. The secrets that they've been holding in for so long or whatever like that. I mean, man, come on, man.
But you said it best. It's
an ongoing cycle,
man. It's a stunner. It's a stunner for them. You know what I mean? Because like Wu was saying, certain words trigger people, man. And you thinking you just being normal, and you done triggered something to somebody, and you're like, and you can't keep up with where they go because they go to an extreme,
and you don't even know.
You don't even know. You know what I mean? You don't even know,
you
man.
You may be playing with your girl and be like, "Oh, shut up, girl! Don't tell me to shut up."
Oh my God! No,
don't ever say that to me because oh my God! And Brown, you like, where did that come from?
Who you talking to? Nobody talk to me like, calm down, girl. Damn.
And then you find out in their past, before they either used to get beat, they were told to shut up, or before molested, shut up, or somebody didn't put their hand over their mouth or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It look, you never know. You never know. This is why conversation
is important.
Is so important. And good communication with whoever you decide to be with. In transparency, even transparency about your past.
That's correct, bro.
Even transparency. Correct. This is what I had to deal with when when I was younger, or this is what I dealt with in my past relationship, and I'm trying not to repeat. You know, have a repeat situation.
Yeah,
these conversations are important to have, man. But,
and it's tough. You know what I mean? It's tough because, you know, even as men, we don't have a full understanding of a lot of things that, you know, women face, man. Like you said, being raped or anything of that nature. But it puts a weight on the men too. You know, and we don't. I think we do it in a defensive manner instead of being a little bit more understanding. You know what I mean? And I mean me personally.
Go ahead.
You know, I'm gonna be transparent when I say this. You know, my tolerance level for certain things are at a certain level, and when you are dealing with certain situations, you know, like my whole focus right now is to do what I'm doing in reference to this entertainment and the acting. And I don't want to go too much into it, but my focus is more so on me overcoming an obstacle. You know what I mean? I grew up a certain way. You know what I mean? I grew up in ministry, very strict, you know what I mean? A very strict ministry type thing where, you know, learned the word of God, you know what I mean? And I'm not taking away from that. But growing up in that element, man, my decisions makings now are so cut and dry that it's like when I'm in, I'm in. When I'm out, I'm out. And I don't know if that's always the best answer or the best option.
Yes.
But it works in reference to my comfortable level. And, you know, and I could be triggered too. That's another thing. We as men, we don't be transparent.
Yes.
I could be triggered too. You know, we try to act tough and, you know, all hardcore, you know, like everything's all right. You know, with all this muscle, I still believe deep down inside of me there's a human being with a heart under it.
No doubt. No doubt. I'm going to clap that up, bro.
Watch this masterful segue.
Nah. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Watch the master at work.
Nah. Here. Did you hear about this real quick before we go to the topic real quick, man? This is sad, but hey, this the society we live in. Pennsylvania man shot and killed at a local bar after defending black man who was being called racial slurs. So this man right here shot and killed at a local bar after defending the black man who was being called racial slurs. Wow,
that's crazy.
Your take on that, and I'm gonna read some of the story if I got it right here. I got it right here.
He was trying to make peace, man.
All right, so
read the story.
Let's get some of this.
Chad Merrill was just trying to be a peacemaker, according to family and friends, when he stepped up in defense of his friend, a black man who was being subject to racial slurs over verbal abuse. The situation did not end peacefully, however. Moments after speaking up, he was shot and killed at the Red Rose Restaurant and Lounge in York, PA.
Pennsylvania is on it like
about to
that?
say that.
According to the New York Daily Record, the ultimately fatal encounter started when James Saylor, the alleged killer, squeezed his way into a group of men seated at the bar. There was a man seated between Saylor and Jarrell Douglas, his initial victim, but that didn't stop Saylor from launching into his verbal harassment and insult using the N-word and other racial slurs. You could tell he was giving Douglas crap. He's being a jerk, Pelham Township Police Chief Doug Pollock told the news site. It was a racial incident. That's how it kicked off. The other men at the bar tried to ignore Saylor. Merrill, who was sitting next to Douglas, but further away from Saylor, was trying to get Douglas to let it go and focus on him rather than Saylor's verbal attacks. Douglas didn't escalate anything, Pollock noted. He did the right thing.
Wow.
Well, that's crazy.
That young brother is a hero, man.
Yeah, but I mean, see, you know what? And it's a shame. The white guy probably got even angrier at the white guy because he was defending the black guy. I mean, I'm not trying to make it about that's why he did it, but it seems kind of weird that if the guy wasn't a threat to him, to this other guy, the gunman, if the guy that was killed, the white guy, wasn't a threat to this other white guy, what would be his purpose of killing him? Except he was angry that he was defending this brother. Except he was angry. Maybe he felt like he was supposed to be on his side. Who knows, man? But the guy wound up losing his life just for being like, and he never said anything negative according to what we read.
Right.
He tried to get him to focus on him. Like, try to get him to take his focus up. In my opinion, I think he was like saying, look, you don't want these two brothers to get on you because if they get on you, they're going to put it on you from 14, 18. So I think that's what he was trying. I think that's what he was trying to avoid by saying, "Don't escalate this. Don't escalate it." Trying to get him to focus on him, and the guy probably just got pissed off. Like, yeah, you defending him, you defending this nigga, and bust him.
First of all, thoughts and prayers to everyone involved. Yeah. Okay, that's the first thing. I'm heartbroken. One of my favorite commentators and comedians on the planet is D.L. Hughley, and what he talks about is the fact that for some white people, their emotional state is more valuable than your life.
Yeah.
Now let's get to the crux of this thing. You mean to tell me your feelings or your insults and your internal state was more important than another human being and taking another human being off the planet? That's the thing about certain racists. That's the thing about white supremacists or white privilege or all these trigger words that you try to prevent me from talking about by saying stupid crap like, "Oh, there's that race card again." What are you seeing? You are seeing certain white people in this country, not see us as human. Yeah, because do you know, for me, what it would take to take your life? To take your life, I got to be in defense of something.
Right.
Do you hear me? Right. Imagine, wait now, if every black person that will ever call nigga responded by killing the person that used that slur against them. What you're seeing is their emotional state trumping their humanity. Right? Now, is there a climate in here? That's what white privilege is. That's why they don't want you to talk about it, because it's a disease and a sickness and an illness and a lack of empathy. You mean to tell me and Norm get into a disagreement and I can hold my breath like a child because I can't delay gratification? Huh? Or I can scream and yell at Norm. But to take the next step, and that's called immaturity, and we all know people that are that way. Right. But I take the next step and take a person's life, and then I know that the justice system is probably not going to hold me accountable for that. But these are the same racists that want to get mad when I say, hey, I would like to take a knee to stop it. What you're seeing is the illness coming to full fruition, because some of these white folks in their mind, listen, these incidents are on the rise. Why? Because look, one of the reasons, not the whole reason, I ain't gonna say.
But let's talk about the incident at hand.
So, why would that man take the other man's life? That's what I'm trying to get to.
Yeah.
Why? Because his feeling was worth more than the life of a person he was insulting.
So the story that we just talked about, though, we saw two people of the same color that think different.
Right. Good point. That
think. Oh, we gonna go on that. Sorry, that's all good. But we saw people of the same color that think different. So again, it is not. You can't say everybody thinks the same way.
No, I said
that was right. So in that case, he lost his life trying to defend a black man.
Right.
Peace,
and then the officers out there, most officers out that way anyway. We talking about young PA. You know what I'm saying? Most of them are not this.
Dark.
And they said it was a racial incident,
right?
And it was wrong or whatever. So sometimes again, everybody is not the villain,
right?
That don't look like us.
Right,
oh no,
right.
I'm just saying.
He's saying in general. That's why I wanted to stick. He's saying in general.
No,
that particular incident.
No, I got you. What motivated the white guy to kill the other black guy? That's what I'm saying. Like, of course, the other white brother that stepped in and lost his life, that he's a hero, right. But I'm speaking to the mind of the killer, which is that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, but
there's this component of lack of empathy, like
that's part of it, but that's what I was addressing earlier when I said we don't know. He might have reacted like that because he felt betrayed. You know what I mean?
Why did he feel betrayed?
Because he felt like, yo, you're a white dude. You're supposed to be standing up with me against this NIGG.
That's the only point I was trying to make.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
But Norm is right. Of course, I recognize
he's 100% right.
That human being trying to protect. Right.
He's saying two different mindsets, and he's bringing it to perspective.
Right.
That we don't want to focus on the color. We want to focus on the right and the wrong.
And that goes back to our early point about just finding justice.
I was just about to
just
say
finding
justice.
Yes,
and
of course.
Yeah.
No justice, no peace. We've been saying that for 100 years. So I don't know what you want me to tell you. I don't know what you want to tell me. Look.
No doubt.
Yeah, true that.
We shall overcome. Shit, I don't know. What you want me to say? I've been saying the same shit for 100 years.
If you just joined us, you're on the Man Cave Morning Show. Phone lines are open. You can call in 646
233-1302.
I told you I knew the phone number.
There you go. So if you want to discuss anything we were talking about, from Charlemagne to this whole rape culture thing, to what's happening right now with a lot of black entertainers, male entertainers, mainly, you know what I'm saying? These charges are resurfacing, and it's taking a lot of them down. But if you want to discuss any of that, feel free to call in.
You're going to that other topic. We'll have all the phone lines lit.
Oh, we can get it popping.
We can get it popping.
We're going to that other topic.
So,
and you have every phone line to be lit up.
You must be hearing Norm's thoughts.
This is one of the things we're going to discuss. We're going to discuss this meme right here, this post right here. All right, and let's read this real quick. Be my solution. I got enough problems. And remember, this is the Man Cave Morning Show.
Call in.
So I seen like some people saying, well, men got issues too and blah, 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 blah. Yes, we do. But it's the Man Cave Morning Show where you're going to get it from the male perspective.
Right,
There's a lot of platforms out there for women. So on the Man Cave Morning Show, you're going to get it from the male's perspective and things that directly affect us, and we're going to discuss about why they affect us and everything. Because a lot of women don't really truly know how men truly think and feel. You could assume, but you'll never really know unless you actually listen to a man.
Right.
Listen to a man. Right. So again, the topic is
be my solution. Right? When it's be my solution, I got enough problems. Right?
Men look for women to be their solution, not their problem.
Oh my God.
What do we mean by that? Well, what do we mean by that? Men look for women to be their solution, not their problem.
Clap sound effect. Sound effect.
Let's tie that in from a racial standpoint to an emotional standpoint, because I'm gonna try to tie that in. From a racial standpoint.
Racial? What that got to do with
I'm going to tell you.
I want to see how you pulls it together.
Yeah, I want to see.
Sound like me. Sound like Dawood now.
As being a black man, right? And I know we're talking about all men, but right now we're talking about the Man Cave with 3 black men on here, so I'm giving a black perspective. As a black man, right? I'm already a big guy. I'm looked at a certain way, right? So in the world that I live in, when I'm in my car, I'm targeted by police officers, right? Which is going to happen. Targeted by the police. All right, if I go into a situation where, and I was telling you guys about this the other day, you know, I was telling Wu and I was telling you, and I'm gonna get a little personal, but for the most part, I'm gonna use names to protect the innocent. Friday, I'm on the path going to New York, and you know, we as black men, we're funny about people being in our space unless it's our women or our children. All right, light-skinned guy, more vanilla-ish light-skinned, gets in my space.
You mean light-skinned like me?
No,
Did you say vanilla? It's like Caucasian.
Yeah, chicken, because I'm vanilla. Be clear. You can say Caucasian.
Tell him.
Say it, it's all right.
Get out of my space. You're in my space. He acts like he don't hear me, and he continues to stay in my space.
Caller, hold on from the 908. Go ahead.
So when he stays in my space, I raise my voice a little bit this time. And I'm so glad Pastor Hilliard offline. I ain't my pastor. I ain't want him to hear this story. So, me being me, I give him a little shove with the shoulder. He goes flying back across the room, laying on the ground, looking up at me as if, what happened? I said, I told you to get out of my space. Now, that's a battle right there where I'm dealing with certain white people that act a certain way. Then you come home to where you're supposed to be able to get, I don't even care if it's a how was your day type thing, right? And I'm not saying that women don't do this. I'm just saying in general. Figuratively, I'm speaking, because I'm not saying it happened to me, but figuratively, you come home after dealing with the craziness of being in the world, being targeted, being put into a category. You come home and it's like you gotta fight because your woman's having a problem with something about you. Now you're dealing with a vice grip on both sides of your head. Right. That's what I meant when I was tying in.
No. Respect.
That's what I meant.
All right. Caller from the 908. State your name, where you calling from. You're on the Man Cave Morning Show.
Yes, hi, this is Dorothy Bolton. What's up, Norman?
Change your tone of voice when you represent us.
What's up,
That's
Dorothy?
my
What's
cousin.
good?
You change your tone of voice.
I'm good. I'm listening to you guys. You're hitting a lot of good topics, and of course, I feel I agree to a large extent. And then I have something else to say into, and you know, from a woman's perspective, I know it's the man cave, but you know. So more recently, you posted the "Be My Solution." I got enough problems.
Okay.
I can definitely identify with that. As a black man, you go out, he faced with all these challenges, got to worry about just getting home safe.
Right.
You know, which seems so minor, but that is really, really serious. You know, you might not come home.
Right. Yes.
You know.
Thank you.
And then black man is dealing with stuff at the job. You know, we're not treated the same as our white counterparts. We're not paid the same. We're looked over for reviews and things of that sort. And then you got to deal with your other brothers, some that are not as stable as you might be.
Yes,
and,
right,
you know, you want to be a help to them, but, you know, some, like I said earlier on one of my posts, is like an onion. There's so many layers to the issue.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I understand when you say, be my solution, not my problem, because that goes both ways. And the man encounters stuff more so, I think, than women do in today's society.
Right.
And then, of course, women look for men to be my problem, not my solution. Right. I just wanted to be clear. You know, I'm married. I'm not nobody's mother, okay?
Right.
I'm not trying to be.
Right.
However, I am a person that likes to make things easy. I always look for a solution instead of pointing out just problems and things of that sort. I think if we did as a whole, in everything that we talked about, you guys are talking about today, that would be better. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Anybody can point out a problem.
I agree.
But what about the solution to the problem?
Right.
Totally.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I got to clap that up.
Yeah, you nailed that one on the head.
God, it's definitely good to hear your voice, one, and hear your
She was
perspective.
perfect.
Your perspective. I'm rocking with that. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys. I'm listening, so, you know, keep it coming.
All right. For sure, cuz. Talk to you.
Thanks, Doc.
Thanks.
So when you stop to think, the thousands of microaggressions that we deal with as black men on our job, like the sister said, from other men, from men that are in our own race.
Right.
Okay, I may have empathy for a brother as a black man, but then he's a nut or a criminal. So now I gotta weigh justice with my empathy. Why is he a criminal? Why is he a nut? Why is he abusive? Because this, that, and the third. So I feel like what Norm was saying to that meme is, we are constantly misunderstood and misinterpreted. Now, when we get misunderstood, our life is in jeopardy. I'm just gonna tell you how it is from everybody, from certain police, not all police, so shut up. From other black men, and emotionally from our women. Because if our woman has a misconception about us, or she is triggered by us, then she can kill our soul. Now, women, calm down. I'm not saying all women, but let's stay on topic. Please.
Yes.
Let's not wander back and forth. This ain't a black man got problems too. Listen, cut on everything else that attack. Cut on all forms of media. You can find out somebody saying what the problem with the black man is. Before we can get to the solution, we have to identify the problem. Let me tell you something. For as much as we face, if we get it into our head that you are not the solution, you are canceled, take it how you want. Now, we just had a conversation, because the show is better before the cameras get cut on, about how bad we feel about this fact. But trust me, if we put it into our mind that not only are you attacking us, not only are you not the solution, but you're working against us, we cut you off. Now, that's the best case scenario. The worst case scenario is we get abusive or cheat or say something wrong or this, that, and the other. The reason that we cut you off is because we feel like we don't have no ally. And whenever I try to say this to a sister, I get Mrs. Me Too. Right? You telling me who you are, not what you ain't gonna do. Like, Dee, no, I love Dee. She's right. She's not my mom, but I'm not asking you to be. I'm asking you to see me and have empathy.
But let's be real. Let's be real about how we really think, though. Right?
Yeah, break it down.
So like, men, when they're looking for a mate and they trying to find a good woman, and especially a woman that they eventually call their wife.
Right.
We actually do look for Hear me on this.
Mama.
Don't get upset. We look for a mom, a sister, a best friend.
Right.
You went there, huh?
A lover.
You really went there? Okay. You the owner. I'm not.
The female cousin that tells you how women really are.
Right.
We actually look for everything. We look for the auntie. We look for all this.
Right.
In our woman.
The support.
In our women. We
General,
look for all these.
You letting too many secrets out now.
Components.
But he's
now,
right, though.
So
You let
but
too
I'm
many
being
secrets
honest.
out.
So
He's right.
on the mom tip, when we look for you to be a little bit like a mom, we looking for that nurturing aspect.
Right.
When we look for you to be like our sister, we look for that person. You know, you tell your sister everything. You got these little things between a brother and sister relationship. You know what I'm saying? And your sister is like, oh, you got to watch out for this.
Right.
And you know, women are like this, and people are like this, right? So then you look for the friend.
General.
Then we look for the friend.
That's right. That you could just tell anything.
You know what? So this is what I was dealing with today.
Yes.
Babe, you know this girl was trying to holler at me today. Like without her getting mad with her, she was trying to holler, and I had to shut it down, blah blah blah, and let her know I was married, blah, 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 this and that. We laugh about it, we move on. Not what? What you say?
Right.
Right.
Wow.
So we look for all these different components in finding our mate. Because no woman can say they don't want a little daddy. You know, when they looking for their man.
Totally agree.
You know what I'm saying? Or whatever.
Right.
They don't want a little brother. You know, he like my brother, my daddy, my best friend, my lover, my this, my that. You want all these little components somehow mixed up in there. We do.
Yeah,
and this is the reality to it. So
You took it there, huh?
on that note, when you talk about the men look for women to be their solution, not the problem. So now I'm talking about men again. This Man Cave Morning Show. You know, if we're dealing with a rough day, and this is men overall, so I'm not even going to just say the black men. Men overall,
That's true. White man, Chinese
our
man,
face. I don't care what culture you are, whatever like that. So men overall, when you're out there facing the world and dealing with all the situations of the world and your job and this and just trying to, you know, just be a good man, a better man, whatever.
Right.
When you walk to what we call your home,
Your
when we
safe
walk
haven.
up them steps and we're at that door about to go into our home, once we enter our home, that becomes our place of refuge.
Right. Safe haven.
So it becomes our place of refuge.
Right,
now, if you're
right.
met with a whole bunch of opposition and a whole bunch of wow, such, and I told you such, or complete silence, you walk in. After a rough day, this is why I say, you know, most men, and I made it as simple as possible, just want to be greeted with a hug and a kiss. Most of us, if we get that, as soon as we walk through the door, we feel like everything from this point is going to be all right. I've walked into the right place. I'm in the right place. You know what I'm saying? I ain't with the right person. That's all. So that's why I broke it down that simple. Most of us just want to be greeted with a hug and a kiss and a how was your day? You good? You know what I'm saying? Like, woman gives you something to, or whatever. You know, and I'm not trying to take it back to, you know what I'm saying, the old-fashionedness or whatever like that. But there's certain basics that make us feel like, you know, I am with the right person. You know, I am with somebody that cares for me, that somebody that loves me, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Most men want to walk in that door and feel as though their friend, their partner, their companion is waiting for them, not their enemy. And that's all I'm saying.
Let me paraphrase it for the ladies out there. You know how when we first get in a relationship and you go take a pee at 3 o'clock in the morning and I done left the seat up and you want me to put it down? It's simple. Dawood has to learn to put the seat down. Conversely, not looking for my brother or father.
Components.
Just so you know. Okay. But let me I want to speak to that.
Go ahead.
Conversely, let me make it simple. You see how simply Dawood's behavior had to change? Huh? Because I had to have empathy for my partner who is a female. So now I got to change my behavior. That's what this man just said. He said, before you put your mouth in gear, how simple is this? Give a hug and a kiss. In the same way, I got to put the toilet seat down. You know how you scream and you yell about how we're insensitive and we got to go to the mall and don't want to go to the mall. You know what that means? My behavior changes. I'll hold your pocketbook, sit there and look stupid when all I want to do is go to the GameStop and lie and tell you this looks good, that looks good, knowing damn well I don't give a care about it but I changed my behavior. Some women are completely unwilling to change anything about anything that they do because they think that everything that they do when they say is right.
You know,
and then they give me this: you're sexist, you're this, you're that. Meet my needs or don't. Go ahead, D.
No, I was just gonna say, you know, listening to both of you guys, man, and you made a very, very good point just now, and I think in order for me personally to really talk about, looking for a solution and not the problem, I have to go into who I am or the type of person I am, and I'm gonna make it real simple. If I was to break my leg and I couldn't wipe myself after I dumped, I wouldn't want my woman to do it. But if my woman broke her leg and couldn't wipe herself, I would gladly do it. I would gladly do it. And I said that to make the point on, I think that when people understand the value of who they have, men and women, so women, I'm gonna cover y'all too, men and women, when you understand the value of who you have, and an imperfect person, but a person that will do the things that you need them to do and want. There's a difference between a need and a want. Some people needs the function, and then the want is just the luxury, the extra. So there comes a point in time where, in order to understand the person that's being your solution, and now I'm gonna take it back to the woman, in order to understand the person that's being your solution, I'm telling you, make no mistake about it, women. It is not easy, and this got nothing to do with looks. It is not easy to be a man in today's society in a relationship where women are constantly throwing themselves at you. All of us up here. Now, what the beautiful thing about all of us up here is that just talking amongst ourselves and pretty much us knowing each other to some degree, we are able to say, yo, nah, man, like Norm said earlier, somebody tried to holler at me and I had to check them. You know how beautiful that should be? That you can share that with someone that you at home with.
Right.
That's a beautiful thing. And it's tough because women, please understand the mate that you have. If you don't understand the mate you have, you don't know the mate you have, then men, it is not your job to keep trying to put yourself on a chopping block to show that you're willing to sacrifice yourself. And some things ain't worth it. Real talk.
Well said. Joyce Berry, not looking for my brother or father.
Hey, Joyce.
Just so you know. To that, I would say, there are components to my personality. Okay? You got millions of black women that go to church every Sunday and say, God the Father. Now, when God corrects the sister, do the sister say, you ain't my daddy, God? It's the energy and the authority that we're talking about. So, if you got a strong black independent woman with a good job, making $100,000 with a foreign outside, and your responsibility is to tell her that she's full of shit, the authority that you carry that out with is the authority of a father. I know you're not looking for your father or your brother or whatever, but it is the energy and the authority. See, we're going to be clear. We're going to stop mincing terms. We're going to stop mincing terms.
We're talking about different components.
We're talking about the components of masculine energy. Now, the corrective component is not the sexual component. It is not the friend component. It is the father component or the brother component. All of these components make up my masculinity. And what some women do not want is for the other component to come out. And that's why they try to use verbiage and language to silence us. And that's why we leave. Stop. Stop. That's semantics.
All right, now look. Now, let me break it down, right?
Yeah,
so how my wife has traits like my sister. My sister always shut me down and corrected me when I was wrong. Kept it real with me, 100. Like, look, you wrong about this. You need to get your ish together. Blah 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 blah. The way you handled it, she would never come at me like that in public around other people.
Yeah, she would probably
around other people. I was always right. But then when it's just me and her, and she get me in the house with just me and her, she be like, "Look, bro, I love you, but that was wrong how you did that, and how you came off on blah blah blah. You was wrong how you came off on Woo like that, and how you shut Woo down, blah 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 blah. You know, you need to apologize and whatever." So that part of my sister, my wife would do that with me. You know what I'm saying? She would do that with me, right?
Yes.
Now my mother, if I came in the house and I was like sunken in and I was sniffling or just whatever like that, what my mom do? Look like you ain't feeling good. I'm gonna make you some soup. I'm gonna make you some soup, whatever. Here, take these 2 Tylenol, blah 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 blah, whatever. You know what I'm saying, Norm? Blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? That's the nurturing aspect, right? that we're talking about.
Right.
So when we say,
and
I'm
that's
not your
called
mother,
the what? The mother energy.
Yeah, and
right.
that's what we're talking about.
The mother, the
so
father,
these
the
are
structure,
different components.
The correction.
Again, that men look for in their mate, to have all these different little components. You know what I'm saying? These little complexities of each person, woman that was in their life. Before.
Now, when my daughter just got back from college, right, and dropped some science on me, look, do I say to her when she corrects me, "You're not my mother," or do I say, "I'm your father"? See, let's stop being disingenuous. Let's stop being disingenuous. I love the fact that you had the courage and the honesty to say that we do, in certain aspects, look for a mother, as well as a sister, as well as a cousin, as well as a this, as well as a lover, as well as this. And it's okay. So if we're getting caught up in terms, let's not. It's the energy. And what happens is when a woman doesn't want to address you or put you down, or they don't want you to speak or whatever, they use terms to push you away. Like, you're not my mother, you're not my father. So if Norm corrects me about a bit, I go to Norm. It would be ludicrous for me to say, "You're not my dad," when Norm is bringing correction for me to do what? To change a behavior. Why? Because if I understood, then my behavior would change. But some women don't want their behavior to change, so they constantly hit you with that I'm not your mother. So you're not my nurturer, you're not my friend, you're not my partner. Well, you just lied, because you told me when you met me that you were different and that you were those things. You're being disingenuous.
And now, and let me say this real quick, right? For those, you're not my father or whatever like that. Or I don't want a man that's
some of you need a
that's
father,
like my father, whatever.
Because you ain't had one.
But here's where you wrong with that, right? So what's the one trait that every father has when it comes to his daughter? Protection. So
where did I learn how to be protected?
So you want your man to be that protector, right?
That's father energy.
Yes, that's what I'm talking. That's the energy. So that's a component. That's a trait
masculinity
from your father.
Right.
That you also want your man to have.
Right.
So let's stop it. When you say things like that, you got to think about it. I don't want my father. You're my father. I don't need you to act like my father. I don't need you to be like this. I don't need you to act like this or whatever like that. I'm not your mother. We have to think about all state, because there's certain traits and characteristics that we do want in our mate, that these people that were in our lives before that we want to have. We want them to have.
And I love the way you said, Norm, when you said there's certain components that we have learned from the people in our lives, like our mothers, you know what I mean? And in my case, it was my grandfather and my uncle, actually Dorothy's father, that I learned a lot from. And one of the things that you said that was so true, man, is the two things I learned from both of them, my grandfather and my uncle, Charlie Fred. The two things I learned is they were protectors. They were protectors.
That's why I learned the trait from.
That's why I'm such a protective man.
Me too.
I really wear this S on my chest because it looks good and I like the color, but I really try to live up to it when it comes to my woman. And it's like, there are just certain things. There are just certain things that you guys touched on, man, that I was just sitting over here and I was like, wow, that's true. When Norm said there are certain things that you look for, that the women you've been around in your life, they shape you, and Woo, you know this from a psychological standpoint. Your psyche is transformed and shaped by your environment. So if you are a woman that is saying, "Oh, I don't want my father," or "I don't want a man to be my father," and ladies, please don't take it the wrong way when I say this. It sounds like you're being defensive based on that you're looking at it from what your father is to you, not the components of who your father are. You know, your father's the protector. He's the provider. He's going to be the guy that, makes sure that nobody takes advantage of you. Right. Everything that your husband or your man would do It's just that certain things you allow certain men in your life to do. Like there are certain women that will allow their father to be their protector, but won't allow their boyfriend to be their protector, or their husband or their fiance to be their protector. There's certain women that will allow their father to be, at one time, was a provider for them. But now that they're on their own, they're grown, and that's great. They're independent. They don't need anything from anybody. And I'm not saying that negatively. I'm saying that like we really need to look into the things that has shaped us and made us the people that we are, and whether our mate is even trying to come close to that.
Let me tell you how powerful the energy is, and let me tell you how powerful the father is in general. Two things with a sister, two things with a woman, two things. Number one, if you got a good father, then what you looking for is a mate that reminds you of your good father. Conversely, if you got a bad father, it affects the way in which you live your life, and you're running from it. So when I come with the authoritarian father energy, you run away. Because fathers are that damn important. We're so important that when we are there in good, we affect you. And when we're there in bad, we affect you. And when we're not there, we affect you. So let's keep it real. Now, when a woman nurtures me, and she nurtures me, another way that I refer to that is the mother energy. And if I don't got a good relationship with my mama, you tell the sister, oh, you better run away from him. But if you don't got a relationship with your father, or your father was a retard woman, then it affects your behavior. So what are you saying? Now, when I come in the stance, I'm reminding you of what you had, what you did not have. And on top of that, I'm a father as well. I'm a physical father. See, what we're saying is the void that's being filled, or what you're continuing. Because if you got a good dad, which I consider myself, call me arrogant, I don't give a damn.
Right.
You damn right. When my daughter brings a man home, I want to see myself in that.
Yeah,
not in a sick way. Stop.
I know what you mean. I know
in
what you
terms
mean.
of the responsibility,
right.
The
aspects
ability,
of who
right?
you are.
So with these strong, independent black men, what energy should I bring to you when I'm trying to correct you? I'm listening. What? The lover energy?
Yeah. See, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Hey, let's read some comments.
Stop.
Man.
Get out my face.
You got to read that one that Rebby just said. That's funny. I just happened to read that one on my phone. Yo, that's funny.
Rebby said, "No, we need a She Shed morning show.
She
we can get that popping. Look, if there's some women that's available in the morning, and y'all want to come on either before us or after us."
Hold on, though. We need to make sure they ain't gonna be beating us up and doing none of that Tyler Perry
They
stuff.
can feel free, but the whole society beats us up. So
Dennis,
whatever.
you're gonna screen them all. You're gonna screen them. All
You
right.
enjoy that.
Yeah,
dude.
we are screening.
Now,
screening process, application.
Nikki
and all.
Raspberry said, "We're looking for a few good men. We salute you all."
And we
Clap
salute
that
you,
up.
Nikki. Thank you.
Thank you,
love.
Nick.
Thank you, Nikki. It's hard out here.
We salute you. Shout out to let's see, Barb. Barb said, "We have a lot out here going tit for tat, but we need to appreciate these characteristics and traits that each should be bringing to the table."
I totally agree with you. Totally agree.
What Dot said. Dot said, usually the only woman or man who would say that is when those role models are not a good figure to replicate.
Yo, deep, cuz you got that.
Bang, 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 bang.
Dopeness. That was dopeness right
Bang.
there. Yeah, we're going to have Dot up here. What you doing in the morning, Dot?
Dig it. You can see it right here.
Yeah, we need to get you up here, girl.
Yes.
Revy D, bottom line, we need to work together and upbuild each other. Two-way street. I think we all look for the positive influences we had in our lives growing up and try to avoid the negatives.
I am encouraged.
Yeah, she right about that.
I am encouraged by the chat. Because what happens is women get off topic. Right? We're not saying there can't be a female she cave show and blah, 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 blah. The point of this is for people to hear our perspective, not to the detriment of another person, but that we stay on topic. So I'm heartened by the comments because I thought they was going to be on that bull crap, but they not.
Oh, no doubt. And we encourage everybody listening to the show, no matter what platform you're listening to, and to share it out to somebody. because some of this information somebody might need. You know what I'm saying? Some things we talk about, certain people may need.
DT,
What's
the
up,
way
DT?
you treat your parents is the way you're going to treat your wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, or father. Absolutely. So tell me again who you ain't looking for.
Yeah, true and deal.
Yes,
What's
yes,
up, Robin?
just kinda
Shout out to Robin
confirm
Snell. No doubt. And don't forget the premiere of the Jersey series is
Yes, sir.
This
Thursday,
this Thursday,
26th.
July the 26th at
the
North Cineplex.
Cityplex
movie
on
theater.
Springfield and Bergen.
Yes.
Shack Food Theater, yes.
Yes, so that's like come dress nice. It's gonna be red carpet. The whole nine is again. It starts at 7.
7
o'clock.
correct.
7 o'clock. It's the Jersey series, and it's executive produced by Alonzo Herron, directed by Jamal Hall.
Yes, sir.
And also acting in it, and one of the actors is the dude right here. So clap
that's
it up
right.
for the dude.
That's right.
The dude.
So get out there to the North Cineplex. That's on Springfield Avenue, right?
Springfield
and Bergen.
Right on the
Springfield
corner.
and Bergen.
Across from the Applebee's.
Yes.
Brick City
So
represent
that's
stand
this Thursday. Make sure y'all get out there. Also, check this out. All right, now I have the photos for you tomorrow. But this Sunday,
Yes, sir.
this Sunday, if you're not doing nothing, get your mate or come by yourself or get your girlfriends or fellas, bring your boys or whatever like that. But it's going to be a grown and sexy day party. We're at the Riverview Restaurant and Bar in Burlington, New Jersey. It's a beautiful, when I tell you beautiful restaurant, they're going to have the patio, the inside thing. The food is good. Drinks, good prices and everything. It's a beautiful atmosphere. And you're overlooking the river. It's going to be a beautiful day party, whatever like that. I'm going to be on the 1s and 2s. But live performances. So it's going to be grown and sexy. So we're bringing nothing but that classic, feel-good music that we all know and love and everything. And also performing live. Is going to be my man, Jay Chosen from The Voice. Y'all remember him from NBC's? He's going to be performing live. He's going to be rocking out in between the sets and doing some classics and doing some new music and some classics that we all know and love. But it's going to be beautiful. The vibe is going to be so extraordinary. And this is at the Riverview Restaurant and Bar in Burlington, New Jersey. You get reservations for the patio space and everything, but it's going to be an awesome day party. It's going to be from 3 to 9. That's 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. You can get your reservations. I will put up the number to call, but you can just Google that, Riverview Restaurant and Bar in Burlington, New Jersey. Get some reservations. You can get there still if you don't have reservations, but it's going to be hosted by none other than Lioness Roars of the Wine Glasses Up radio show on BKS. She's going to be the hostess with the mostest that evening. She's going to be rocking out, doing her thing, making sure everybody have a good time. And definitely we're going to be making sure you have a good time on the 1s and 2s and everything. And again, performances by Jay Chosen. It's going to be off the hook.
And he can blow.
Yes. Specials, great food, good vibe, good atmosphere. And we're going to be giving out a few treats too. So come, you know what I'm saying, look nice and everything. It's going to be grown and sexy, all right? You already know what it is. And that's Sunday, Cigar Sunday is what it's called. Cigar Sunday, 3 to 9 p.m. at Riverview Restaurant and Bar, Burlington, New Jersey, all right? So with that being said, let's read some comments. Yes. Revy D, have a great day. DT said he'll be in the building, Lord willing, no doubt. Bring wifey for a birthday. Shout out to everybody on the check-in, man. Yes. And we about to come back. We got to go, but we're coming back tomorrow morning. Shout out to Dre Something on the check-in.
We'll be back tomorrow.
No doubt, Dre Day on the check-in. We'll be back tomorrow morning. All right, with a hot topic, another hot topic.
Yes, we will.
Creek don't rise.
Yes, and we can either go further on this discussion.
You know I want to go further on this.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a great discussion.
We can either go further on this discussion, but we'll be back tomorrow morning for the Man Cave Morning Show. We want to thank everybody that tuned in, checking us out live on YouTube, Twitter, Periscope, Ustream, the mother site, WBKS1.com, the TuneIn app, Facebook, whatever platform you have been listening to us on. We appreciate you all. Peace and blessings.
It's the Man Cave Morning Show.
It is the Man Cave Morning Show. See y'all tomorrow. Love y'all, man. Love y'all.
Yo, you crazy.
Wakanda forever.
Great show today, too, guys. Great show.
Guys.
Great comments.
Some man stuff.
Yeah, great comments.
Peace. Salute.
y'all.
Spencer, and you're on BKS1 Radio.
It's your girl Chanel, BKS1 Radio, and I'm here with the beautiful Garcelle Bouvet.
I'm paying you later. Hey, I'm the queen of comedy, some more, and right now you're rocking with BKS1 Radio.
BKS1 Radio Network. I'm here with the amazing Miss Tasha Smith. How you doing?
I'm doing so good. Thank you for coming out.
Yes.
I really appreciate it.
Hello, Denise Boutte. Hey, what's up? Shout out to BKS1 Radio. See you soon.
Brick City's finest, J.D. Williams. I'm in the Savage Podcast Studio, chilling at BKS1 Radio.
BKS1 Radio. I'm here with the legendary Mr. Dick Gregory. How you doing today, sir?
Fantastic, brother, and thank you.
This is Essence Atkins, and this is BKS1 Radio.
Jamie Foxx, BKS1 Radio. What's going on with you?
Storming on. This is George Dr. Funkenstein Clinton for BKS1 Radio. They be doing the dog, y'all.
Yo, this is Chris Spencer, and you're on BKS1 Radio.